How powerful test. How powerful is the power of suggestion? I'm going to read just a few pages and tell you, and I'm reading out of the book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. This is in chapter 2, The Tremendous Power of Suggestion. As you can see by what we have already discussed, your conscious mind serves as the watchman at the gate. One of its most crucial functions is to protect your subconscious mind from false impressions. The reason this is so important goes back to one of the basic laws of mind. Your subconscious mind is very sensitive to suggestion. As you know, your subconscious mind does not make comparisons or contrasts. It doesn't reason and think things out for itself. This latter function belongs to your conscious mind. No, your subconscious mind simply reacts to the impressions given to it by your conscious mind. I'll read that again. No, your subconscious mind simply reacts to the impressions given to it by your conscious mind. It does not pick and choose among different courses of action. It merely takes what it is given. Suggestion is a tremendously powerful force. Imagine that you are on board a ship that is rocking a bit from side to side. You approach a timid-looking fellow passenger and say, "Gee, you don't look so hot. Your face is practically green. I'm afraid you're about to be seasick. Can I help you to your cabin?" The passenger turns pale. The suggestion you have just made about seasickness links up with her own fears and forebodings. She lets you escort her down below decks. Once she is there, your negative suggestion, which she accepted, comes true. It is important to realize that different people will react in different ways to the same suggestion. This is because they have a different subconscious conditioning or beliefs. Suppose instead of choosing a fellow passenger on the ship, you go up to a member of the crew. You say, "Hey buddy, you don't look so great. Do you think you're about to be seasick?" Depending on the sailor's temperament, he either laughs at your feeble joke or tells you to get lost. Your suggestion had no power over him because the idea of seasickness was associated in his mind with his own immunity from it. Therefore, it called up no fear or worry, but self-confidence. A dictionary will tell you that a suggestion is the act or instance of putting something into one's mind. It is the mental process by which the thought or idea that has been suggested is entertained, accepted, or put into effect. Remember, a suggestion cannot impose itself on the subconscious mind against the will of the conscious mind. Your conscious mind has the power to reject the suggestion. The sailor had no fear of seasickness. He had convinced himself of his immunity, so the negative suggestion had no power to evoke fear. But your fellow passenger was already worried about becoming sick. Therefore, your suggestion had power over him. All of us have our own inner fears, beliefs, and opinions. These inner assumptions rule and govern our lives. A suggestion has no power in and of itself. Its power arises from the fact that you accept it mentally. Only at that point do your subconscious powers begin to act according to the nature of the suggestion. How he lost his arm. Here's another example. For many years, I gave a regular series of lectures at the London Truth Forum in Caxton Hall, which I founded. Dr. Evelyn Fleet, the director, told me about a man whose young daughter suffered from both crippling rheumatoid arthritis and a disfiguring and painful skin condition called psoriasis. They tried many treatments, but nothing the doctor did seemed to help. The man was near despair. Over and over he said to himself and to his friends, "I would give my right arm to see my daughter cured." According to Dr. Fleet, one day the family was out for a drive. Their car was involved in a head-on collision. The father's right arm was torn off at the shoulder. When he came home from the hospital, he discovered that his daughter's arthritis and skin condition had vanished. You must be very careful to give your subconscious only those suggestions that heal, bless, elevate, and inspire you in your ways. Remember, your subconscious mind doesn't understand a joke. It takes you at your word. Here, I'll read just a little bit more. How autosuggestion banishes fear. The term autosuggestion means suggesting something definite and specific to oneself. Like any tool, wrongly used, it can cause harm. But used properly, it can be extremely helpful. Janet R. was a talented young singer. She was invited to try out for an important role in an opera production. She desperately wanted to audition, but she was also terribly apprehensive. 3 times before she had sung for directors, she had failed miserably. The reason was fear of failure. She had a wonderful voice, but she had been saying to herself, when the time comes for me to sing, I'll sound awful. I'll never get the role. They won't like me. They'll wonder how I have the nerve even to try out. I'll go, but I know it'll be a failure. Her subconscious mind accepted these negative autosuggestions as a request. It proceeded to manifest them and bring them into her experience. The cause was an involuntary autosuggestion. Her fears had become emotionalized and subjectified thoughts that in turn became her reality. This young singer was able to overcome the force of her negative autosuggestions. How did she do that? She accomplished this by countering them with positive autosuggestions. 3 times a day, she went alone into a quiet room. She sat down comfortably in an armchair, relaxed her body, and closed her eyes. She stilled her mind and body as best she could. Physical inertia favors mental passivity and renders the mind more receptive to suggestion. To counteract the fear suggestion, she repeated to herself, I sing beautifully. I am poised, serene, confident, and calm. At each sitting, she repeated this statement slowly, quietly, and with feeling from 5 to 10 times each day. She had 3 such sittings during the day and 1 immediately before going to sleep. After 1 week, she was completely poised and confident. When the fateful day came, she gave a wonderful audition and was cast in the part. Develop a definite plan for turning over your requests or desires to your subconscious mind. Never say, I can't. Overcome that fear by substituting the following. I can do all things through the power of my subconscious mind. Now, did you get that? She kept saying the same thing. She built up her confidence. And one thing is for sure, when you say stuff like that, you have to also believe it. You can't just say, okay, I've got to say this. What do I have to say 3 times a day? You know, that I feel good about myself, that I can sing, that I feel confident about myself. Well, that's never going to work anyways. I'm just going to trick myself. I'm going to say it anyways. Well, it's not going to work then. You have to believe it. Just try these things. Believe in yourself. Say these things like she did, okay? And see what'll happen. Well, that's all the time I got. But I'll be back with more videos.